Goblins in Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, are the universe's comedic relief, a blend of chaos, hilarity, and a dash of unexpected resourcefulness. Imagine a group of green, pointy-eared troublemakers who have turned bumbling into an art form. These creatures are the interns of the monster world, underappreciated, overworked, and often finding themselves in situations that are as dangerous as they are ludicrous. The anatomy of a goblin is a wonder of comedic biology. With ears that could double as satellite dishes, they're nature's answer to the question no one asked. These ears, however, seem to exist only to complicate their lives, frequently getting snagged in the underbrush. Their noses are like divining rods for trouble and cheese, and their skin tone ranges from just got out of bed green to left out in the sun potato. Their limbs are surprisingly adept, perfect for tasks ranging from pocket picking to performing on the world's smallest violin. And their dental arrangement? Think of a fence after a tornado. Chaotic, haphazard, and a dental nightmare. Goblin ecology is what happens when you give a raccoon a map to the nearest garbage dump and a sugar rush. They're opportunivores to the core. If it's edible or close enough, it's on the menu. Goblins have an affinity for anything that's questionably nutritious, with a side of mystery meat. Their social habits are a cacophony of squabbling, pranking, and an ongoing competition to create the biggest explosion. Their role in nature seems to be as agents of chaos, ensuring that no adventurer's journey is too smooth. Reproduction remains a mystery, but it's popularly believed that they multiply whenever someone utters, "Things can't possibly get worse." Goblin society is the equivalent of a never-ending game of musical chairs, but with more yelling and tripping. Their social structure is fluid, to say the least, with the title of Big Boss being as permanent as a sandcastle at high tide. Their economic policy is straightforward. Find shiny things, steal shiny things, lose shiny things. Their cultural practices revolve around who can belch the loudest, and their architectural skills are as sophisticated as a toddler's Lego set. Expect huts that look like they've been put together by someone who doesn't believe in instructions. When it comes to strategies, goblins are enthusiastically inept. Their idea of stealth is akin to wearing bells on their toes, and their problem-solving often involves making the problem noticeably worse. Negotiations are out of the question, unless you count offering a moldy piece of cheese as a peace offering. In battle, their tactics are simple. Charge blindly, get easily distracted, and occasionally stumble upon a stroke of genius purely by accident. Goblin warfare is an exercise in organized chaos, minus the organization. Their battle formations are haphazard, their stealth tactics are non-existent, and their choice of armor and weapons is whatever they've scavenged from the nearest scrap heap. Communication during battle is a mess of screeches and flailing arms, which can sometimes be mistaken for an attempt at interpretive dance. Goblin diplomacy is an oxymoron. Their attempts at negotiations are as effective as a fish teaching a bird to swim. They're more likely to offer you a suspicious-looking stew than engage in political discourse. This stew, by the way, is best left uneaten unless you're curious about the effects of mild poisoning. Goblins are surprisingly innovative, in a way that often defies common sense and safety regulations. Their inventions are usually a combination of spare parts, wishful thinking, and a blatant disregard for the laws of physics. The end result is often as likely to explode as it is to perform its intended function. Goblin entertainment is as chaotic as the rest of their lifestyle. Their games often involve danger, slapstick humor, and the occasional accidental trip into a pit. Music, if it can be called that, usually involves banging on whatever makes the loudest noise and is less about melody and more about endurance. Goblin cuisine is an adventurous eater's nightmare. Their cooking methods are rudimentary, and their ingredient selection is based on availability rather than taste. It's a culinary experience that's unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. Goblin fashion is a riot of mismatched colors, textures, and materials. It's as if they dress in the dark, in a closet filled with the discards of various civilizations. Their sense of style is as unconventional as their sense of decorum, which is to say, nearly non-existent. In conclusion, goblins in D&D are a delightful mix of chaos, mischief, and unintentional humor. They are the wild cards of the fantasy world, as likely to help you accidentally as they are to hinder you also accidentally. They remind us that not all monsters are terrifying. Some are just hilariously inept.